Just on that, George Lakoff is a political linguist in the United States, and he says that the right often use stories, whilst the left use facts and statistics. But we're human beings, we're not robots, we empathise. We don't think in terms of, the facts and statistics. And all too often I fall back on that. How many percentage of people are affected by a certain policy? We need those stories, because when the newspapers put on the front page a benefit scrounge in a mansion, as I say, made out of widescreen television sets, that is intended to get the blood of the reader boiling, because people see it as a human story. And I say benefit fraud is worth 0.7%, and they can go, well, there's benefit fraudsters on the front of these newspapers, and that anecdote will always trump a statistic. And it's the same with these sorts of experiences. We haven't heard all too often those stories being told and given an actual platform, because at the end of the day, we do empathise with human beings, and we need that kind of emotional connection.
It's a point that tonight's Guardian editorial makes, actually, that Labour has to rediscover the gift of storytelling. It's a point that we make tonight. Aisha, do you want to pick up on the politics of fear point, which seemed like an echo of some of what you'd been saying earlier? And then we'll ask you about Linton Crosby.
Well, we're talking about politics of fear and this thing about a narrative. There's a clear narrative that was set out by the right of this country. And I just think in terms of progressive politicians, they didn't challenge it. They accepted it. And they didn't come out fighting and say this is wrong or this is wrong. It's like as every single time Theresa May said Abu Qatada, it was like a spell, and everyone was spellbound. She mentioned it every single time at conference, and it was like, yeah, we accept it, and they weren't discussing the issues at hand. And there are young men and women in this country going to Syria right now, and this is what the next government is going to have to deal with. How are they going to deal with it? How are they going to reach out to those young people? Or if you think about the young people that were rioting in the streets in 2011, where are they now? So there's been a lot of this, and I just don't think there's been a response, or a proper response. And I know Ed Miliband had this 5 million conversation thing. Well, where is it?